The episode begins with Abir and Mishti are lying together on his bed when Abir asks Mishri if she would like to have dinner with him so they can have a dinner date. Mishti happily agrees and they both settled for dinner on the table and feeds each other. Mishti asks him why he loves her so much. Abir says, "Why are you asking such a question to me?" Mishti says, "Girls must be going crazy behind you then." And Abir couldn't let her complete the sentence and asks, "Really, where are the girls? I can't see anybody." Mishti hits him playfully and says, "Please tell me. I want to know." Abir says to her, "Even if you had a boyfriend." Mishti says, "Not had but has. My brother-in-law. I always wanted him to be my boyfriend but he never likes anybody else more than my cousin's sister Naira. My first ever love story remains incomplete." Abir gets up from his chair and says to, "But you second the story will be completed, right?" He asks Mishti not to live in an inferior complex that she is less than anybody and he is really lucky to have her in his life. Kunal angrily enters his room when Kuhu is applying body lotion. They both shared a hug with each other. He asks if she has lost her mind that she left him in the house alone and comes home with his car. Kuhu tells him that he only wants to stay away from her and she did what he wants #perfect wife. Kunal says today was a strike of taxi and he has to come home by changing to 2 buses. Kuhu says, "My husband gets changed within one night and you are worried about 2 buses, really?" Abir is helping Mishti to get out of the house secretly when Mishti suddenly gets excited about Kunal's room and says how beautiful it is for Kuhu to stay with Kunal. Abir says, "You are not happy but irritated with the fact that Kuhu has the license for love while you don't." He pinned her against the wall and says, "If you allow we can do it now at this moment." Kuhu sees a dream where Kunal is taking care of her and in that state she fell from the bed and Kunal gets up from sleep. He asks her to do whatever she wants but not to disturb his sleep. He goes out of the room while Mishti suddenly notices that Kunal and Kuhu sleep separately and she gets worried and shows Abir the same. She finally shares with him how she gets an intrusion about it already but she is not thinking that it is not a big deal. She shares the incident of marriage day when Kunal tells her that Kuhu will be back home soon from a broken marriage to Abir. He gets shocked to listen to this and thinks if it is okay to share the incident of Kunal's getting his own marriage with Mishti. Suddenly they hear the sound of Meenakshi coming there and Abir hides Mishti. Meenakshi and Abir talked while Mishti listens to it. Abir tells Mishti that it is quite late and she needs to be at home and he went to drop her. Mishti blames herself for whatever is happening in the house. Abir asks her not to think in such a way. In the morning, Kuhu and Kunal had a cute fight while Mishti asks Rajshri for her phone. Abir asks Kunal to join him for jogging and Parul gets happy to see them. Yashpal says no one can separate these brothers. Meenakshi refuses to have tea from Parul and gets a call from the office. She instructs him to find out where she is getting the mystery calls. She prays to God to protect everyone in the family. Precap lawyer asks Kunal to prove Kuhu mentally ill in the court. Mishti and Abir meet at hospital and spends some moments.